Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is Friday the 12th of January 2024. This is your Bitcoin update. So yesterday was the first day of trading for the brand new Bitcoin spot ETFs, a major milestone in our industry. If you've been here since 2017 or before or even after like myself, you'll know it's a pretty big moment, and it is something to be like. We trade this, we don't really care, like it's all a Ponzi anyway, who cares? But um it's nice to see. It is nice to see this industry maturing. And despite, yeah, the whole thing of like, okay, yeah, it's going to get absorbed by like boomers and traditional finance, we still have an entire ecosystem underneath this asset that is still very exciting and still giving us a lot of opportunities. So I see it as being a good thing. And yeah, I remain bullish for the next year on the market as a result. Now, the price action that we had yesterday was really quite interesting. Okay, we had this like, okay, like we know the ETF's going live, it's going to go live. There was this big move up just before the market opened, and then as we had the New York Open, there was this spike up that took out. So this would have been on the spot markets as well. I know on derivatives we did take out that 2022 yearly high, but on the spot markets like Coinbase, for example, this then got taken out yesterday just as the New York session started. And yeah, this being essentially this like 48 to 50k and 49 in particular being like the last real point of like any major resistance, any major supply that there is before we have to really seriously start talking about that 69k all-time high. So it's natural that we see a rejection from this. And what price has done actually wasn't too worrying. Okay, like if this happened and like if Bitcoin had been going up, like forget all the speculation. Okay, you come up and you're hitting on this, you're knocking into this resistance. It is natural to expect a rejection from that. And I'll just take you over to the Coinbase chart, which just shows you the significance of this particular level. Okay, these lines have a lot of significance when you zoom out a very long way. So this is the value area high of our entire last bull market. It is the 618 from your all-time high to your FTX crash lows, and it is taking out the 2022 yearly high, meaning that this is the highest that Bitcoin has been for 2 years. So it is a really, really significant level in the chart, and you have to say, beyond this, there really isn't very much like left to stop Bitcoin from blasting to new all-time highs. You have a little high volume node here at 56 to 58k, which of course there is a bit of a gap in the chart here as this broke down back in 2021 after making those new highs. But other than that, there really isn't anything left to stop this. So if this does continue and we find that price holds around here, absolutely 69k is the, yeah, that is the next major target on the board. But as a trader, we don't really care about that. We just want to know what Bitcoin is going to do today. So let's have a look at what it is going to do today. This is the week so far. Let's just zoom it in so you can see. Yep, the week so far is what you see in front of your screen. So we have your weekly open, weekly low, weekly highs, and this here being the weekly point of control. So we're currently just below that weekly POC, having swept previous day lows this morning. So there was the move up on the ETF, then we had the move down, and now we're consolidating, just taking out those stops. There was, I'll show you on the order flow in just a second, a lot of short positions opening at that moment and getting a pretty decent bounce from that. So I would be at this point expecting it would be nice to break through that POC, break back through that daily open, but I do think it's reasonable to expect to move back up towards that 47,500 to fill in the single prints that were left behind yesterday, as we got that just immediate like rejection. No, you're not breaking through this that easily kind of effect from yesterday's price action. So that is what I'm looking at in a long position. And yeah, just looking for this to move up. Value area high is up there, Monday high is up there, and then we have this gap here on the chart that we can be aiming for. So essentially, there's your resistance. This is the support that we've just dropped into. Okay, taking out that previous day low. and this also being golden pocket of this whole move here. Coincidentally, as well, if you draw from your Monday lows to your weekly lows to weekly highs, this is also the weekly EQ. So not only is it the point of control, the midpoint of all of the volume, it is also the midpoint of all the price action that we've had. So we're exactly a 50%. I mean, we're right there. So we're at that weekly EQ, we're at that weekly POC, and we're close to that daily open. Also, funnily enough, it is the yearly level. So this is the yearly level that we've been looking at for ages, going back to the 2022 yearly open. So it took out the yearly high, and this is the yearly level from that particular year, obviously. So yeah, important stuff, important kind of level that we would like to see it break through. But I do think that we can see a little bit higher throughout the rest of the day here. Now, something that we can also have a look at is the ETF itself, the way that that traded. So, of course, natural. All right, you have a bunch of people that want to get into the ETF very, very early on, and then it sells off just along with the rest of the market. Actually, the grayscale one is the best one to be looking at. So, from a macro perspective, opens inside. So, essentially, Bitcoin has just taken out this high here. Is that correct? 2020? No, no. So in terms of, wait, let me just check this. Let's go back onto this chart. So yeah, essentially for Bitcoin, we've hit those 2-year highs. GBTC is trading at a massive premium in comparison. So essentially, like, we're trading Bitcoin down here, and the grayscale ETF like is all the way up there. So GBTC is all the way up there, which actually is kind of what I said a minute ago about how the next like major resistance is coming up into this like gap here, and the resistance that we have. So that essentially is where the ETFs have opened, which is at quite a premium in comparison to spot, but just something to be aware of. Another interesting thing to note on the ETFs themselves is they are essentially starting from zero. For all of the new ones, at least, this means that if people are holding the ETF and it is a spot ETF, that Bitcoin has to get bought on the open market in order to basically fulfill that purchase. So I don't know a whole lot about like the way the mechanics work and everything like that. It's something that I'm going to try and learn a little bit more about, because I am interested in it. I am interested that we've got a whole new load of new players coming into this space that's going to cause some influence on the price action. However, I would be looking I'm looking at this weekend with a lot of interest, because essentially, from what I'm aware of, basically these new funds have a couple of days in which to get the Bitcoin in order to fulfill and settle the purchase that's been made on the ETF, right? So if people hold the ETF, then the funds need to go and get the Bitcoin. Now, of course, a lot of this will be happening over OTC, and it's going to be from like it's already there, it's already ready to go, it's already ready to be deployed, but that is going to need to be replenished. There was a huge amount of volume, and it could lead to an effect where we start to see, just a little theory of mine, but weekends, remember these ETFs only trade from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. They only trade within those trading hours that the standard stock exchange trades on New York Stock Exchange. So we could see this natural, like, as people are buying this ETF and basically their stocks of Bitcoin in order to fulfill those contracts get bought back up on the open market, is maybe over the weekend and outside of trading hours, we see a little bit of a buying pressure, just natural buying pressure. So as we go into this weekend, I'll be interested, because again, just seen it on Twitter. I don't know the facts, but I do believe that around about 100,000 Bitcoin is going to have to be bought by Monday, which could lead to bit of floaty uppy price action over the weekend, something to be aware of. And of course, like what we've always seen over the weekends is just like sideways, spike up, spike down type of thing. But does this change into a bit more of like, does this change the behavior? It'll be interesting to see. We don't know if it's going to change the behavior. We've never gone into a weekend where maybe there is this much buying pressure on the asset itself. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's just a little side thing, something just to, I mean, if you have any thoughts on this or any more like information or knowledge on it, like always do your own research, of course, but like feel free to comment below. Educate me. It's something that I'm going to try and learn a bit more about so that I can start to give you like some more factual stuff. But yeah, it's something to bear in mind, right? Anyway, let's have a look at the rest of the charts and other things that I can show you. So in terms of liquidation heat maps, there's, again, not a huge amount to be talking about here. Most of the like liquidations are kind of these longs below us that have been just, we're just tapping into those, hitting a few liquidations from there. Oh my God, why is this not loaded? The low that we put in as it came down and took out, in fact, I can show it to you easier here because this always resets. There we go. Yeah, the low that we put in this here as we came down and took out the previous day lows. So that's all the way back here. You get the idea. Previous day lows, price came in, took those out. We had a lot of short positions opening. So a big increase in open interest on this particular move down. A lot of short positions opening, hitting some long liquidations down here, and then immediately those shorts basically closing out and price getting a nice little floaty move up as the short positions that had entered, the aggression to the downside basically subsided, and then we got that reversal. So what we've seen so far is shorts have closed out. You had that move up in open interest. Now that's kind of calmed down, and we want to see longs taking over. For this to go higher, there's got to be a little bit of volume that we've got to get. So you want to see this open interest rising with the CVD rising, and that should push us back through that point of control towards higher prices, back towards the like the previous day open, and that 27,250 to 27,500 zone. The heat maps looking relatively empty to get to that point as well. So something else to be aware of. There's not a lot in the order books here. It is definitely buying pressure that we have within the order book. CVD, like I said, we had that divergence that was starting to form, and funding. If we just have a quick look at that, still as last time I checked, yeah, neutral. So that leads us to believe that higher prices are what we can probably expect to see throughout the rest of the day. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Please do like, subscribe, do all of that nice stuff. Just a reminder for you guys as well, as we are coming into the end of this week, we launched this offer. So new year, new crew, 30% discount on 3, 6, and 12-month plans. So if you go over to tauruscrypto.com, or you just go to wop.com/taurus dash crypto, and you can get a 30% discount on your 3, 6, and 12-month plans. There are a few of those remaining. It is limited to just 24 uses because it is 2024. But if you do want to come and join the crew, see what goes on over there, like again, I can show you on the Discord. We got tons of activity. This is always stuff going on within the Discord. We've been trading this really well. I see just actually this morning a few people being able to catch that long from that sweep of previous day lows. So it's a really great community, a really valuable community. We've got tons of educational content down here, things that you can be like if you are new to the market, stuff to yeah, basically education. All right, education is very important, and we've got a ton of content down here, a massive library of educational content for anyone who is wanting to learn more about Bitcoin, more about trading, more about everything else. So yeah, do take advantage of that 30% discount while that is available. Check me out on Twitter, on X, at a Taurus Crypto on X, and yeah, you can find out more information there. So yeah, on that note, thank you very much for watching. I will see you again next week. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of the day. And yeah, cheers. See you soon. Bye bye.